First, it was that they didn't want petroleum and petroleum products, 5 products, diesel, petrol, ATF, and some other gas, natural gas. They didn't want these to be included. There's a reason for that. You see, currently, on an average, about 50 to 55% of the state VAT collection comes from petroleum and 5 petroleum products. And there is the fear of unknown. So fear of unknown is that God knows when GST comes whether my revenue will lose my revenue. So to start with, I don't want to get and particularly since now this will be a destination-based tax. So the manufacturing states have a lot of reservation. Consumption tax states, they will be happy because they will be getting the taxes. And so there were certain things. So they said that to start with, don't touch petroleum. At least we know that this 55% which is coming to us, it will continue to come. So they didn't want. But at the same time, Center was of the view that you cannot do it because petroleum and petroleum products are the raw materials for almost all the industrial products. And you must have a continuous flow of credit chain. And if you take out something out of GST, then the credit chain gets broken. So they were Center was insistent that it should be included. Similarly, they didn't want to part with the alcohol part. Now, while on alcohol, I must tell you, internationally, 2 items are known as demerit goods or sin goods, SIN, sin. So these are alcohol and tobacco. So, and these taxation of these items do not follow any principle of public finance. In the sense that whenever the government is in shortage of revenue, they impose tax on tobacco and cigarette or on alcohol, and socially you cannot make a protest against this because these are sin goods. And when the GST comes, obviously the rate of duty, GST rate of duty will be much less than what it is being imposed on cigarette and alcohol. So alcohol part I'll come later. The center suggested that we are agreeable to bring tobacco and cigarette into GST net, but we cannot have that rate alone. So for those items, cigarette and other tobacco products, you will have separately excise duty to bring it up the level of, to keep the level of taxation same as now. So they had suggested to the states, so why don't you also agree to bring in alcohol and you have your own state excise or alcohol, so you don't lose your duty in GST. But somehow they have not agreed to it, and that is one part the dispute was going on, 1 and 2 items. Mr. Jaitley in this bill, very smart way, he brought petroleum in constitutionally but kept it outside effectively. What he did, he defined GST as a tax on supply of goods and services, and supply of goods or services or both, except on alcohol, which means petroleum is in, petroleum is not out. But later on you find one clause that the GST Council will decide the date from which the GST rate will be applicable on petroleum and petroleum products. That means till the time they decide that the rate will be, what will be the GST rate, that they will come on the GST rate, it will remain outside GST. So to some extent, what even the standing committee had recommended that constitutionally should be brought, Jaitley Sahab has been able to bring petroleum and petroleum products, but not alcohol. So this is the other thing. Otherwise, this is what they have brought in the bill now.